Hey guys, welcome back. That was Solo Quieres Tú.
Solo quedas tú, yes.
See what I mean? I already killed it. Listen, I am Puerto Rican, I promise you. It's flowing through my veins. The wording doesn't come out as good as it should. I'm gonna work on that. For you guys, I'm gonna work on that.
That's why I'm here.
That's exactly why he's here. So let's look at the new album. All right. Do you have a name for the album yet?
Yes. The name for the new album is Comienzo.
Okay, Comienzo.
Comienzo,
Which means?
beginning.
Okay. Well, not for me, for them.
Yeah.
For them, because I got this.
As far as beginning, it's although been around for so long and doing this so long, it's actually the beginning of, if you want to call it a musical career, if you want to call it an album, that's what it is the beginning of. But it's also the beginning of this music that God has placed in my heart, being able to spread it throughout the world to a bigger capacity.
Right.
So to me, it's more than just music, because it's pointless to me just to make music and not care about the condition that the listener is going through, because that the point of this is to be able to change lives in a positive way.
To heal, to restore, to uplift, to encourage.
Correct.
Okay, so this is good. Is this your first major album, or have you done EPs before? Have you just dropped singles?
I did if you want to call it I guess call an EP, but it's pretty much I did it myself at home, and
Right.
I burned multiple copies, and I started.
We all know that. We all know the deal.
It's called Vivo por Fe Reloaded. It's nothing that's been launched online or anything like that, but it has a compilation of 12 songs from anywhere from 2006 all the way to 2015. So that's sort of a album right there, and
Okay.
It was a great experience.
Okay. So looking at this new album, Comienza, right?
Comienzo.
See what I mean?
It's all good.
But I messed up for you guys so that you guys know how to say it correctly. Comienzo. Okay, so do you have let's talk about the beginning. First of all, what made you, what did you hear from God that made you kind of say, all right, you know what? I have the time, I have the anointing behind it, I have the ideas, the visions, the kind of groundwork. What made you really say, all right, this is it. I'm gonna do this. This is the time. Let's go.
Sometimes we think that the delays we get in life, the things that come up, might be just you're against me or whatever. But through this whole experience that I went to school to learn more about the Bible, to learn more about God, and that taught me in ways how to do ministry more effectively. So by having this knowledge, I can't keep it contained within. So I have to utilize it. I can't just keep quiet anymore. I have to go out there and take this message to the people that need it. So that was for me this is it. This is the time. You prepared, you studied, you did your homework. Now it's time to practice what you have learned.
Amen. All right. Do we have an amount of songs that are going to be on the album?
So far, when I did the initial list, it was a total of 10 songs.
Okay.
All varieties, and also one of the things that it has been in my heart for a long time is I've noticed that a lot of people hear the music, they like the music, but a lot of people tell me, what are you saying in those songs? I would like to understand what you're saying because it sounds so great. But that brought me to the conclusion that I need to do some transitioning to English.
Okay.
Which is it's not going to be a fully English album. It's not going to be a fully Spanish album. I'm going to try my best to make it,
Bilingual, both.
Bilingual, so people in English and Spanish can both understand it.
Okay. Do you have any other artists that are on that'll be on this album with you?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
It's I mean that I have people that I would like to have, yes, but I have not, in all honesty, reached out to make that happen.
Okay. Is there a vibe behind? Because you said you wanted to kind of mix it up with the English and the Spanish, but is this going to be more of an upbeat kind of album? Is this going to be more of a slow kind of worship, or is it going to be a real mix of both and different types? The hardcore hip hop, a little bit of soft R&B, maybe some reggaeton, maybe some bachata. Is that a kind of mix of everything in there?
It's gonna be a mix of pretty much different styles of music, because besides, people might tag you as an artist, but I would like to define myself better as a worshiper. So I don't like to limit myself to just one style of music. So I'm gonna do as much as I can to make the best music and make as much different styles as possible.
Okay. All right. Do you have a deadline of when you want to have the album recorded, everything taken care of and ready to be packaged and sent out to people or available online? Or?
My deadline is to have it done by this year. Finish it by the fall. I have the equipment already.
Okay.
Everything set. Just I have to start recording it, sending the vocals, getting everything mixed, beats done, and then once that starts, publishing things online now, it's a matter of nothing. Mm-hmm. So it's
all right. Kind of to go off of the album for a second. When it comes to singing and ministering, do you find that there's a difference between doing it maybe outside at like a festival where there's a total mix of people that don't know your music, do know your music, do know God, don't know God, might want to hear what you have to say, might not want to hear, that type of environment, as opposed to when you're doing something like here at your church or at a church where you know that the entire crowd is 85-95% Christian, wanting to hear what you have to say, know who you are. Mm-hmm. Do you find that there's a big difference? Do you feel like you thrive more in one situation as opposed to the other?
I would say I'd be the same in both scenarios. Mm-hmm. I would rather prefer, in all honesty, to be in the mixed scenario where people might not necessarily have a relationship with God, where it's mostly needed. Like, yes, it's great and beautiful to minister in a church, because there's also need in the church. It's not only the need is out there, the need is also in here.
Got it.
But, we were called to heal the sick. The people in here already have, what they needed, but the people out there are the ones that need. So I would say I prefer the other scenario, and I would feel what, in all honesty, whatever God puts me to do, wherever He puts me to do it, whatever He wants me to say to the crowd that He wants me to say it to, that's what I will do.
Okay. Somebody wants to get a hold of you. They want to have you come out to their church. They want to feature you on their album. Maybe they want to jump on your album. Maybe. How do they get in contact with you?
Well, through Facebook, you would look at me like facebook.com/Dreko El Prodigio, and Instagram is Instagram/Dreko_912.
Okay.
That's how you can contact me, and through there we'll keep networking, and we'll achieve greatness.
This guy is one of the coolest guys that I know. A total heart for God, a heart for the lost. I mean, we've gone into places where they didn't want nothing to do with Jesus, and we were able to go in there and listen. I mean, I know from myself, and I know that we all kind of had that kind of collective mindset where, if just one person was to come to Christ, or even if you just put that little diamond in their brain, that little gem, where they go home and they really ponder upon it, like, it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? We've gone to all these different places, and sometimes we've been in environments where the crowd is hyped and everybody's excited, and then there's sometimes where everyone's like, all right, cool, who's next? But you walk away with one person, at least one person, saying, hey, you know what? who is this Jesus you're talking about? You know what I'm saying? And that's sometimes that's what you have to come to grips with, is that you may have done this whole trip and this whole concert and all this kind of stuff, and it could have only been for one person. Like that's the type of thing that our God does. We'll put everything together just for one person, because every soul to him is that important. You know what I'm saying? So A Heart of Gold, if you want to work with him, man, he's one of the coolest people. Get a hold of him. Hey, let's work together, let's network, let's do whatever, man. Definitely he's an asset to have at any event. With the Bible knowledge that he has through going through school and to being a major part of his church here, and you're a youth leader here, right?
Yes, me and my wife are youth leaders at Rock of Refuge. So
exactly. So he knows the Bible. He's been ministering on the streets and at the concerts and outdoors and indoors and all kind of stuff for years and years. Definitely an asset to have at any event. A few more questions before we let go. For a young minister out there wanting to get into the music business, kind of going down the same way you went, they have the Bible knowledge, they have the musical talent, being able to put them together. Like, do you have a bit of advice for them from your experience? You have a little bit of advice for them.
From my experience, for example, when I was younger, I knew a lot of people in Puerto Rico that, like, if you know the connections that I had at the moment, you would probably think, why am I not out there? But at the same time, you got to understand that it's in God's time, in God's way. At the same time, I would tell you to put your talent in God's hands. Sometimes, just because it sounds good musically doesn't mean that it's meant to be. Another thing that honestly worked for me is understanding completely that God is there to help you out. Yeah. God is if God called you, He's not gonna leave you behind just dry. He's not gonna leave you there sitting by yourself waiting for support. He's gonna back you up. God is not gonna take for granted the love that you have for ministry and the wanting that you have to do something for Him. So just put yourself in God's hands. And as far as music goes, it could be an expense. So the best thing I could tell you, financial aspect, do some savings. And home studios are a great alternative to. There's studios out there that charge studio time. That's great. Nothing against that. They're making their living. They're making their business. But at the same time, it's not for everybody. And sometimes a home studio might work better for you.
Definitely. Well, listen, y'all. There you have it. You have the history behind Dreko. You have what he has coming up in the near future. A brand new album. More music coming out. A little bit of advice from somebody who has stayed the course, somebody who has done the grunt work. You know what I'm saying? We didn't shoot straight to the top. We didn't sign a record deal. We didn't do any of that stuff. Had a home studio, did the music on his own, came from Puerto Rico to the United States, had to transition with the language barriers and all that kind of stuff. And the dude is prospering as a man of God, as a husband, as a father, and all that comes into play when he goes ahead and takes the word and puts it out there. So Dreko, thank you so much, brother, for real. Honestly, thank you for coming through and just rocking with us. Again, thank you guys all. You know the deal. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Season 2 of In the Element is in full effect. Thank you to Dreko for coming through. Thank you to Rock of Refuge Church right here in downtown Middletown for allowing us to come and just kind of set up shop here. Thank you again for coming through. Thank you. That's it. Peace.